Hey everybody, this is Hadrian. Thanks for watching. Let's keep going with our Civilization 5 tutorial. You know, towards the end of the last episode, I brought up that one of the things you can do when your happiness is teetering around zero is trade with other civilizations. And I mentioned it's just something you could do, and I kind of threw it in there, but I wanted to go ahead and take a second at the beginning of this episode to show you what this screen looks like. As I mentioned, if you want to deal with another empire, all you have to do is find one of their cities and click on it. So let's say we wanted to trade with Poland, for example. I'm not actually going to execute a trade here, but I'll show you how it would work. And let's say I wanted to get one of Poland's luxury resources in order to give my empire some additional happiness. Again, no matter how many of a luxury resource you have, whether you have multiple tiles yourself within your borders, or you have traded in a luxury resource, maybe in addition to having some of your own, or you're trading in multiple copies of a luxury resource. Regardless, happiness does not stack. If you have no amount of a given luxury resource, you will receive 0 happiness. If you have 1 or more, so it's binary, right? 0 or 1. There's only 2 possible differences there can be. There's not a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 difference. If you have 1 or more, you will receive a set amount of happiness from simply having that resource, regardless of the quantity in your empire. So let's go to trade with Poland, and notice that it shows us his luxury resources, and it also shows us what we have. So it's a really quick way to kind of glance that, in fact, they do have some things that we don't. For instance, they have cotton, they have sugar, they have incense, and they actually have 4 things that we don't. So if we were really feeling adventurous, we could see what Casimir wanted for these things. If I want all 4 of his luxury resources, he wants, looks like all of mine, 30 turns of 5 of my iron being traded to him each turn. He wants me to accept an embassy. And he wants me to give him 27 gold per turn for 30 turns. So notice all I had to do was click on the button and said, what would make this work? Again. What do you want for this? Boom. So it's usually a pretty good way to tell what the other civilizations would want. And of course you can build your own deals and propose them to see if they would like to make that trade with you. As I mentioned in my correction video, episode 6.5 a while back, one of the big things that's just good to know about the trade screen, one of the things that's important to understand because it can be kind of misleading. When, let's say I put in accept embassy here, this is not Casimir saying he would like me to accept an embassy. These are the things that this side will provide. So this side, Casimir's side, will accept an embassy. This side will accept an embassy. These are not propositions for what they want you to do. Everything that's here are things that the trade deal would require that civilization to do. Make sense? Good. Leave a comment if there are any issues. So speaking of happiness, we're trying to get our happiness back up. At the end of the last episode, we were focused on building a road to Circe and then growing Circe out so that we have this solid border and we can be reasonably confident that no other empires are going to try and settle on Africa. So actually at this point, I think we're in pretty good shape in that regard because, as I've mentioned earlier in the series, you have to found a city 4 tiles away from any other city. And when you look at where the cities are here, there's no way someone could possibly sneak in here and put a city because that's too close to Mediolanum and too close to Arretium. Or really too close to Mediolanum. There's no way that anyone could really sneak in here because there's a mountain, and then this is already within my territory. So I would say the bottom half of Africa is sealed off pretty well. Another really cool thing that's happening is our Arpinum up here is growing across the Red Sea with regard to its borders. This will give us a great landing when we decide that we want to go to war with the Songhai, which is probably going to happen at some point. I'm just saying. Might not, but things are leaning towards that. So that's where we are right now. Let's go to the next turn. Wait, looks like there might be something to do. Yep, we got a worker without any orders. Build a farm. Done. Okay. It is 1530 AD, soon to be 1540, I believe, and turn 217. Hard to believe. We've been at this tutorial for a while. Your city becomes religious. Okay, so Mediolanum has converted to Latin paganism. That's good. As I mentioned earlier, we want a very strong base of Latin paganism to build up down here because Catholicism is creeping its way in up here. So we've accumulated enough faith to purchase a unit or building. Let's have a look. I don't want to purchase any missionaries, but I do want to purchase, yes, a mosque for that +3 faith bonus. So with again, these Catholic cities up here, as long as they're Catholic, I'm going to use that to purchase the Catholic-specific buildings and then convert them away from Latin paganism so I can have the benefit of those Catholic religious buildings while being my religion. Handy, right? Also somewhat devious. All right, we're going to keep trading with Vancouver with this caravan. If I haven't pointed this out before, notice that the game will always tell you what your previous route was. So when a caravan is ready to accept a new deal, you can give it a new deal if you want, or you can just say, keep doing what you're doing. So we've just finished building a barracks in Rome. You know, I'm frustrated by the fact that Rome is not a larger city at present. So I think what I want to do, let's look at production real quick. Yeah, we're in a good position. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch Rome to food focus. Notice now it's only going to take 2 turns instead of 12 for a new citizen to be born. We were going to have the Hanging Gardens in Rome, and that was going to help Rome grow, and then someone beat us to it. So this will help compensate for that. And also, let's not do a new settler just yet. Let's go ahead and build the caravansary. We're actually a little bit behind probably on building a caravansary in Rome, but as you can see, this improves land trade routes. You get an additional 50% range, which makes sense. You want more access to Rome, and you want that additional 2 gold when connecting to another civilization. That's going to be useful. Neapolis is ready for a new project, so let's see here. I want to build a caravel in Neapolis. Caravel is our kind of deep sea exploration unit. In 9 turns, we'll be able to send a unit out and start exploring the fog and discovering the new world. It's about time, right? It's 1540 AD. We need to get out there. It'll be 1630 AD by the time the ship actually starts sailing. Alright, this worker is set here. Let's go ahead and build a farm in that territory. Cargo ship. Let's keep things going with Vancouver. We're going to build a farm right there to help Circe grow. We're also going to build a farm right here. I think we were trying to build a farm there when that road came through, so we had to stop. But we're going to kind of, I've mentioned this previously, but just to reiterate, we're going to kind of let relationships cool with Vatican City. I don't want any trade deals going with them because, hang on, let me make sure there are no trade deals. You can always just point up here to your trade routes to see where they go. And we do not have any trade routes with Vatican City right now, which is good. Because again, I can see myself taking them over, so I don't want to deal with their, I don't want to deal with them being upset with me. I also don't want to deal with losing income. Maria the First has proven that the world is round. That means she's making progress, I believe, on exploring exploring the world. That's not the best thing in the world. So we need to make sure that we beat her to discovering every other nation. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know that that'll happen or not. But notice now our spy that we have in Maria's territory is ready to steal a technology. We can steal either steel or chivalry. So let's take a look at where those technologies are. Perfect. I think, yeah. In this case, I don't know, this is tough. I'm going to go for chivalry because right now we are in a pretty good position militarily. We're not really at risk of going to war with anyone in the next few turns. And chivalry will give us access to some additional technologies in the next couple of turns that will improve us as a civilization, not necessarily just militarily. So, chivalry it is. So it looks like we successfully stole that technology. That's excellent. So we're catching up. Notice that she only had 2 technologies for us to steal. That means we're catching up to Maria in terms of that. Speaking of that, let's also take a look at our notes over here. Yes, as you can see, we're still solidly ahead. Casimir is catching up to us in score, though. That's interesting. He's doing a lot better. So I don't think it'll stay that way. I think our score will actually surge. City of Mediolanum now has 5 citizens. That's great. And go ahead and build a farm on that tile next turn. Start a farm there by Circe as planned. As planned. I was going to say as promised. All right, next turn. Thank you. A Reformation belief has been added to Buddhism. Buddhism is a New World religion somewhere in the fog. I don't know quite where it is. We'll have to see. No longer friends with Vancouver. Oh, I needed that food. Good. Our religion is spreading more. Aratium has adopted a religion. Arpinum has grown, so unfortunately we are unhappy again. Aratium has adopted a religion. Ravenna has adopted a religion. Good. Not good that we're unhappy. But we'll fix that issue soon enough. I wonder if there's anything maybe we could trade with Poland. Just to fix this issue. What do you want for your sugar? Wow, that's pretty steep, buddy. You want 3 of my luxury resources and for me to accept an embassy. Just for the 1 luxury resource. No, I'm not gonna do that. Maybe Askia will be nicer, since he's not doing as well. What do you want for your sugar? Well, Wales, so that would cost us happiness because we only have 1 silver resource, so that actually wouldn't do us any good to do that trade. Sad day. So we're gonna be a sad empire for a bit while we wait for our happiness to build up. We are slowly gaining, or actually kind of rapidly gaining faith. Barbarian encampment. What? There are barbarians to the north of Poland. Poland, have you not dealt with your barbarian problem yet? Get with the times. It is 1560 AD. Sheesh. But yeah, we're going to be a sad empire for a bit. One of the ways that we can deal with the happiness issue is we can... Oh, cool. We're going to be able to build the Sistine Chapel very soon. I think we'll try and build that in Rome. Alright, city connection has been established. Awesome. Because of our culture that gives us happiness for city connections, we're now happy again, but we don't have extra happiness, unfortunately. So we're still in a bit of a bad way, but we're getting better. I'm going to go ahead and build a forge in Cume. Or do I, or will I? Should I build something else instead, perhaps? No, forge sounds pretty good. And let's see if we can purchase. Yes, because we have 500 gold, we can purchase a Colosseum. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to give us a happiness boost. We purchased a Colosseum in Circe. And it didn't boost our happiness. Okay, here's a moment of humility for Hadrian. This happens sometimes in Civilization 5. If you know why this happens, feel free to leave a comment, and I will post a supplementary episode, a half episode to this episode, clarifying why it happens. I don't know why my happiness didn't just go up. We just built a Colosseum in Circe. Maybe it'll go up next turn. Maybe that's what it is. But Yeah. Not really sure. Okay, so acoustics is done. Let's go ahead and research steel so that we can reach the Renaissance era in 5 turns. This worker needs orders. And yes, I realize I just referred to myself in the third person. Not something that happens often. Alright, so salt. We already have salt, though, so getting some additional salt is not really going to help us. Alright, let's see if happiness goes up next turn. Should go up by 2, by virtue of the fact that we built that Colosseum. Very frustrating. The Colosseum is also currently being built in Ravenna. There are definitely policies around the corner, social policies in particular, that that will help us with this issue. A lot. It's not a long-term concern, but I want to be growing in the meantime. I don't want to have periods of stagnation. It's going to be tough to keep up with the other civilizations if we have that. So, I'm going to go down here with this worker and build a mine near Rome. And then speaking of mines, we're going to build one right here as well. So Circe should be a pretty productive city. Because we have a salt mine going up here and 2 standard mines being built in these dunes. So Askia, we no longer have any gold per turn from Askia. We no longer have open borders with Askia, and we are no longer providing silk to him. And it looks like our happiness did not go up, as I suspected. And Rome is about to grow, so our happiness is going to go down. Oh, okay. So they want to reestablish the trade deal. Sure. I don't mind. Let's keep up a good relationship with the Songhai. We're not going to go to war with them just yet. Alright, our happiness is now at 2. The people who like shiny things the most. So there's an unmet player that is very, very rich. And then I am the second most rich player. That little tile is annoying me. Let's fix that problem. Alright, so that problem's solved. Let's put a farm there. Rome! Wow, it's going to take Rome a while to build the Sistine Chapel. Let's switch Rome back to production focus. It'll take 14 turns, see there, instead of 20 turns. Alright, and Antium. Can I build anything here? Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to build this observatory in Antium in place of its research focus, which will actually help it keep a strong emphasis on research in 8 turns, regardless of whether or not I have the research focus going. Okay, so Maria wants that deal to go again. Didn't improve our happiness. But we're almost back up to 300 faith, which means we can start buying some other religious buildings in our Catholic cities, which will help. Thankfully. Okay, so with the Caravel, I actually am going to auto-explore. Our boat is finished here. We're going to just send them out to explore the world. And we're going to build another one in Neapolis. It's only going to take 6 turns now. All right. So they're going that way for some stupid reason. I don't blame them. That's why I usually don't auto-explore, stuff like that. Alright, so we'll build a salt mine there as well. Just to have some additional salt. In Neapolis, I think we've already purchased a pagoda. Yes, we have. But we have not in Circe. And again, our happiness didn't go up. I'm at a bit of a loss. You know, I said earlier in the episode that if there's a gameplay explanation, let me know. Maybe the happiness bonus from multiple religious buildings in cities doesn't stack, and if that's the case, I'm in trouble. Well, not really. Again, we have some policies coming up that will help us with this whole. You really want an embassy? Okay, at this point, I don't feel threatened by you, so that's fine. I don't feel like you're going to mess with me. You've got your scout here anyway. You know where I am. But so yeah, I mean, I was saying that it seemed like maybe there's a gameplay explanation. Maybe there's not. I'm not super concerned about. Nice. I'm not really super concerned about the happiness issue. I don't like it to be teetering around 0 or -2. So if I'm making you guys nervous by not having more happiness, I apologize. The problem will resolve itself. It doesn't always happen, but we've expanded pretty rapidly, and we've got these cities growing pretty rapidly, which is a good thing. Just so happens that because of that, we have this period of on and off stagnation. We're going to build a farm there in Circe. Looks like we're able to get a new social policy, which is great news. Can I build a caravel here? Yes, I can. We're going to build a caravel in Ravenna. It's going to take 6 turns, but it's worth it. We're going to adopt a policy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. As much as I would like to select monarchy to get this happiness reduction, it would give me +5 happiness, actually. I'm going to go for the culture increase by 33% in all cities which have built a world wonder, and the empire immediately enters a golden age, which would give me more culture and more gold for a given, and more production for a certain amount of time. So watch what happens here. Our income just jumped up from 60 to 87. Oh, we're already in the Renaissance era. Duh. I knew that. I said that earlier in the episode. We've already researched astronomy and acoustics, so we're good there. That's what I get for recording episodes on different days from each other. Sometimes I forget things. All right, so yeah, we're going to go with the printing press because of that. Well, we're going to research the printing press so that we can have the Leaning Tower of Pisa wonder. Notice that you get an extra 25% generation speed of great people in all cities, which is a really good thing to have right now, especially when we're trying to play catch up. And on that note, I think I will go ahead, as much as I would like to keep playing here because this is fun. I need to cut this episode and start recording another one. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload new episodes in Civilization V's tutorial every day at noon Eastern Daylight Time, which is GMT -4 right now, since daylight savings time has started in the States. But again, comments are always welcome. If you're watching this and the Civ 5 tutorial has always ended, I usually do some historical or otherwise grand strategy, as long as it's not sci-fi, in my 12 p.m. slot. Sci-fi is saved for 6 p.m. So if the Civ 5 tutorial's ended, there's probably something else similar to this playing right now. So check it out. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys next episode.